What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 151 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. Sup, dude?
Nice to have you back.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a schedule difference that we didn't catch until a little too late. It's like, well...
I mean, I was there, and I was ready. You had the opportunity to record with the boys, but...
Well, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Instead, I was up till like 1 a.m. editing.
And I'm trying to avoid that tonight. But,
yeah, good luck with that.
Well, so yeah, this is life. We're here.
So this week has been rough, recording wise. A lot of hiccups this week.
Dude, yeah. People might have noticed there wasn't a laddering video this week, and I don't want to talk about why.
I'll explain why. I have no qualms explaining why there was no laddering video.
See, what had happened was I recorded one.
Yeah, no, there's a great video.
And there's really good commentary. The problem is it's muted.
Yeah, no one can hear it. Unless you're really good at reading lips. You would not understand what Carter was saying.
Yeah, so, just throwing that out there. Check your audio levels before you start recording stuff.
Yep. You always look at your sound bar.
And dude, the worst part is I've been recording stuff all week, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's there. That's fine. It looks good. And then it wasn't. It's like, yep.
What's
those
funny
are the
is you
there.
did the shorts for TikTok and all that, and they were fine.
Yep. Yep.
All in the same day. That's why I was confused as to why like the laddering just had no audio. I was just sitting there like scratching my head trying to figure out, did the download just go wrong?
Nope.
So I had Kayla asking Tiff to check the file, see if there was something wrong on my end. Nope.
I know.
Nope.
I woke up to a message from Tiff because obviously she was not going to be awake when I got up. She's like, "Hey, there's a problem with the file that you sent Carl. It doesn't have audio." And then I'm like, that's really weird. And mind you, this is at 4 a.m. this morning. And so then I go to Discord and I have a message from you saying, "Hey, this is messed up. What's wrong with it?" I'm just like, man, that is really weird. What is wrong with it? And then like it just all clicked in a matter of like that. And I'm just like, I'm a dingus. That I'm pretty sure those were my exact words to you when I this morning. My exact words were, I'm pretty sure that I have all my inputs muted, and that's really, really unfortunate.
Yep.
I think I told Tiff I was a dingus. I don't know.
Anywho,
it's been a day.
Yep. I ran an event on this morning.
I watched the Cowboys lose because Mike McCarthy's an idiot.
Yep. I'm glad the Titans weren't in the playoffs because now like football's just over for me. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to care about it. Now I'm just like I get to just enjoy watching playoff football.
That's where I'm at. Like obviously now I'm just like I want the Chiefs to beat the Bengals next week. That's where I'm at. But this isn't a sports podcast.
Nope, we are not a sports podcast. As much as we get distracted by it a lot of the time. We're going to talk about Liverpool results. I know everybody's moved on to Series 2 and whatnot, but we had Liverpool regionals over the weekend, even though I didn't get to watch any of it.
I forgot there was a stream. I'll be straight honest with you.
I knew there was a stream, but I was never around my computer to watch it. And when I was around my computer, it was just like a restream, and I had already been caught up for on the day. I'm just like, there's no point in me watching all of it.
Yeah, well, Is it on YouTube or is it just on Twitch?
I believe it was just on Twitch. Because Victory Road was the people who live streamed.
Interesting. So, what do we want to talk about? Are we just going to rattle off through some of these teams, talk about what's interesting? How these translate into Series 2? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, kind of a little bit of A, a little bit of B, all that stuff. I have up on screen for everyone the Victory Road page, so they can kind of follow along with what we're talking about. The big thing I think to take away from this event is everyone had pretty much given up on being creative for Series 2 over Series 1 because of Series 2. And
Well,
a lot of these teams just feel like this is what we were playing in San Diego
mm-hmm.
with minor adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And here you go.
So just kind of looking through like top cut here. There's an Ndidi played by Alex Soto, which I think is really sick. What's really awesome about this is because these are all open team sheets, we have access to like the actual teams.
Yeah.
So because we have Hatterene, of course you want. Oh, interesting. We have Life Orb on Hatterene. So we're Twisted Spoon on Armor Rouge because we have Expanding Force and Psychic. Very cool.
That's neat.
Other interesting things here. Swords Dance, Goggles, King Gambit, Clear Smog Torkoal. Big fan of that.
Yeah, that's been a common thing lately when you see Torkoal.
Let's see.
Gotta have your Dozo answer.
Scarf Annihilate with Final Gambit.
I mean, that's like the
Room.
perfect Trick Room partner too, right? It's like
it's so good. It's so good. It removes their like biggest threat, and like you get Trick Room up to be able to bring in whatever sweeper you want. It's so freaking good.
I feel like
Gleam and Ndidi.
That's normal.
I normally am playing like if I'm playing a damaging attack, personally is like Terra Blast because like worst case scenario it's a stab normal type attack, and like best case scenario it turns into a stab super effective attack into whatever I need.
Fairy is good neutral coverage. You don't have to waste your Terra on it to hit, like,
that is also
other
true.
things. And it's spread damage. That's just like the important things that Indeed wants. So that's why D-Gleam is more popular, I feel like, than just like Terra Blast or Psychic.
To be fair, I've been playing Ndidi in like Series 2 where I'm Terra Fire to be able to deal with opposing Scissors. So like being able to have access to like being able to resist Scissors hit and then Oko them back is really important.
Yeah. Kind of just glossed over the first place team.
I mean, yeah. I believe this is very similar to what won San Diego, right? Or did Dozo in San Diego?
Dozo didn't win.
Dozo did not win, right? No.
Dozo didn't win. There was a Dozo team in second place, but it was an orange Tatsugiri, and I don't think it had Dragonite on it.
That's the part that is catching me off guard. The thing that I really like about this team is like this Palmot. I'm a big fan of the Palmot here. Because why have one Dozo when you could have two?
Yeah, that's just like the thing that's happening is just like Palmot has become the electric type of choice for Dozo teams. Not only do you have that good strong fighting coverage, you also have Revival Blessing to kind of just say, I want to redo.
Or like you can just revive like your Goldango, or like your flying Terra Blast Dragonite here.
Yeah, whatever your threat is, you just revive it and have it again.
It's a cool concept. I like this. Okay, so if you Terra into Terra normal, does Terra Blast then become physical for Dragonite here?
It would, yes.
Okay.
As long as its attack is higher.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's my big thing is like, does it, because it's not changing types, does it change what's like physical or special? That was the Terra Blast is a weird move, man. Like, it's very straightforward, but like it's not.
I'm about to say I don't see what the problem is. It's just like your physical special splitting. Your physical special split happens as long as you're terastallized. If you're not terastallized, it's just a normal special move.
Dude, what's with all the Dragonites? There's a second one here and third as well.
There's a third one in top. There's a fourth one at fifth. Another one at eighth. A lot of Dragonites.
The one on the third place team is special.
Sick.
With multi-scale Rocky helmet.
That's interesting to say the least.
I haven't even told you the spiciest part yet. I want you to guess, knowing that it's special, I want you to guess the 4 moves on this Rocky Helmet Dragonite.
I would assume Draco.
Draco is 1.
Thunderbolt.
No Thunderbolt, but mind you, we are also multi-scale. That, I think, is also a key part here.
I'm just looking at the rest of this team, trying to figure out what they could possibly want to be doing.
I don't think you'll ever get this.
I don't think I will either.
So we have Roost for multi-scale things. We're Terra Normal with E-Speed. And then our last one is Fire Spin. So this team is just absurd. We have Fire Tauros, which I actually think is really good. It's not something I've played with at all in Series 1 or 2. And I think that probably needs to get fixed at some point, because I think this thing is pretty okay.
I know I built a team with Fire Tauros for you.
I thought it was Water Tauros.
No, I built a team with specifically Fire Tauros. Because I don't have a Fire Tauros in my game.
Yes,
I had to get one from Ro.
Yes. We're Choice Band Dragapult here as well.
Yeah.
Lefties on Gargi, Citrus Gastro, Sash Glamora. No Life Orb on this team. Interesting. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like this stall team, but
it's a stall team.
Not.
It's a stall team.
But man, it's a cool one. I like it.
Yeah, it's 100% a stall team with Fire Spin, Garg, and Glamora. It's 100% a.
So yeah, you can set spikes with Glamora, trap them in so they take extra damage. It's cool.
Yeah.
What do we got here? We got Palafin Rain. Team seems fine. Nothing. I mean, there's a Dragonite here as well.
I'm about to say there's another Dragonite.
That one's Sharpbeak with Terra Blast.
That's cute.
Yeah, past that, I mean, pretty stereotypical on everything else. I think you could, just by looking at the team, you could probably figure out what all the items and everything are.
Yeah.
Nothing too absurd. What are you seeing, man? What's catching your eye over there?
I'm just kind of looking at trends, looking at what did well, like the numbers for in top 8 and things like that. Like there's 4 Meowscarada, there were 2 Volcarona, 3 Dozo Tatsugiri combos. Goldango's still the big winner. I believe there's 5 in top 8. Then if we go to top 16, there's another 5. 10 of the 16 teams have a Goldango on them, which is insane.
Dude, there are 8 dragons in top 8. 4 of which are Dragonites.
Yeah.
4 of which are Dragonite. 3 of which are Tatsugiris.
There's more than 8 dragons there.
Is there? Did I miscount?
Well,
1.
There's a Baxcalibur in 7th.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1,
9.
2,
9.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I think I missed one of the Tatsugiris. Because I definitely counted the Baxcalibur.
Yeah.
Whatever. Lots of dragons, most of which are Dragonite and Tatsugiri.
Yeah. When Dozo does well, Tatsugiri is going to do well.
Yeah.
The big shift is everyone moved away from the stretchy and went back to the curly.
So that's attack, right?
They went back to attack instead of speed.
I think a big part of that is just Haze is really popular again. People are going to respect Dondozo, and so rebuying your attack boost, I think, are good.
It's funny, Haze isn't even that popular. There's still only like 2 Murkrow in top 8. Which is saying something because there was almost 0 in San Diego. But like if you scroll down further, there's no other Murkrow.
Yeah, there's
The next Murkrow is in 28. Murkrow just does not translate well into these top cuts.
Really interesting. There's more Salamence than there is there is Murkrow. That's really
in the top 32. Swede brought Salamence to Liverpool.
There's a lot of rain teams here too.
I think that's part of why Dozo did better, because Rain doesn't have a great Dozo matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on paper, Dozo there's nothing that ever threats Dozo out of Palafin, Pelipper, double steel types. Like, nothing threatens Dozo there.
Yeah, I like your answer there is like, you need a strong electric type. And it's like, oh, here's Pawmot, I guess.
Kilowattrel, Pawmot, Meowscarada's usually the answer on the rain teams.
Yeah. Which, like, and then you run into like Terra Steel or Terra Flying on your Dozos. And it's like, well, okay.
Yeah, and then the other double like part of that is Pawmot. Their Pawmots answer the opposing Meowscarada. Like, you can't sit in front of Pawmot. If you sit in front of Pawmot, you're just going to lose your Meowscarada before anything happens.
Dude, there are 20 Goldengos in 32.
Not surprised. Not surprised in the least.
That's absurd.
That's an insane number of Goldengos.
It was not. It was on the winning team. It was on the winning Dozo team.
If I remember correctly, I saw somewhere someone had some extra data for Liverpool. It was like total number of like Pokemon used in day 1 or something like that.
Interesting.
If I could find it again on Twitter, I will. I found it. Awesome. So
ship it.
Out of the 487 teams, Goldengo was on 238 of them.
That's insane.
Meowscarada is second at 233. And then there's not even a Pokemon close to that. Amoonguss is third at 179. Kingambit was fourth at 122. And Hydreigon was fifth at 106. Murkrow only had 70 copies. It ranked 15th overall.
Man.
There were 84 Dondozo, 83 Tatsugiri.
83 Tatsugiri.
Meaning there's a Dozo without a Giri.
Okay. I feel like that should be the other way around, but okay.
Maybe. There were 99 Sylveon, 97 Pelipper, 80 Annihilate, 79 Palafin, 77 Mousehold and Paldean Tauros Aqua Breed, 72 Garchomp, and then the 70 Merc. To round up the top.
I'm glad they split it up, Tauros by like actual breed. I know, like, obviously, why wouldn't they? But it does, for my sanity, make things easier.
Yeah.
There's a Alex Gomez brought Salazzle. I'm interested in this team.
Salazzle has been popping up a ton here lately in Series 1. Very fast, can do the Endeavor Focus Sash stuff. Has access to Corrosive, so you can poison everything.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, like the Terra Steel Dondozos. That's the big thing.
Yeah, this team's really cool. We have lefties Poison Garganachi, Sash Overgrow Meowscarada, Life Orb Goldengo, Choice Band Dragapult, Eject Pack Salazzle, and Mago Berry Water Tauros. Really cool team.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
So Salazzle here, fake out overheat, Will-O-Wisp Encore. Like, just get your one attack off. That's all you need Salazzle to do.
Yeah.
If you get to bring it back out for a second fake out later, cool.
Yep. What other noticeable trends are there? Looking for pairings of Pokemon that kind of stand out. A lot of these Dozo teams picked up Goldango and Volcarona as like their supplemental damage options. Like a lot of these teams are, here is Goldango, Volcarona, Tatsugiri, Dozo, Meowscarada, and then one other Pokemon. A physical type, or a physical Pokemon, usually. Sometimes it's Dragonite, sometimes it's Palmot. Sometimes Volcarona swap for Arcanine. Sometimes it's just like a different fire type. In this case, there's Hamster Mania, David Kotesh. His team was Torkoal Sun with Dozo, and then Dragonite and Goldango alongside it. That's some spice.
So, as you know, our inner circle knows, crit hands has been something that's been running around our circle.
Yeah.
And I think it was Aaron started playing Crit Hydreigon as well. And I made the comment of, why play Crit Hydreigon? We can just play Nasty Plot. The Hydreigon team here in, what is this, 10th? In the hands of Francesco Iozia. I'm so sorry. I'm not. I'm
As
a dumb
Carter
American.
butchers names here.
I'm not Italian. I'm so sorry. We are Crit Hydreigon.
Yeah. Did you not know that was actually a thing?
I thought it was just Aaron being Aaron.
No. So Hydreigon with Focus Energy and Scope Lens was running around in San Diego too. Right? It was out and about before San Diego. So the whole idea
that's absurd.
Is you just ignore the special attack drops from Draco. Like that's all it's there to do.
Yep. And like obviously extra damage always is good too, but with Nasty Plot you always need a Nasty Plot to be able to get back on your Draco. Whereas with Focus Energy, like you're just always going to be doing more damage with your Dracos that way.
Yep, just crit them.
Also, Safety Goggles, Mousehold. I just want Mousehold to top cut. I just want it to top 8-man.
It's just not its time.
And the problem is the format's going to become more powerful, and therefore it's not going to have its time.
I think Mousehold sticks around.
I want it to. I think it's so freaking adorable, and I love this thing.
Part of the thing that Mousehold does great is it is that redirection. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to take their Fluttermanes and they're going to push them probably into Terra Ghost or Terra Fairy, one of the two. I've also seen Terra Fire be common in certain circles, and Population Bomb still picks up an Oko there. Like, if they terrestrialize that thing, Population Bomb is still good.
Dude, it does so much freaking damage all the time.
A lot of what people are like everyone's got new toy syndrome on the ladder for like Series 2. They see, oh, Garganicle's really good. We're going to play that. Oh, Dozo's not so great. We're not going to play with that. But I want to play with Fluttermane. I want to play with Iron Bundle. I want to play with Iron Hands and things like that. And so the format's kind of oversaturated with teams doing that thing. I think Annihilate's still going to be really good. I think Dondozo's going to be able to stick around and hang out for a while. Meowscarada is still going to be very, very strong. Goldango's not really going anywhere. It'll probably see a little less play comparative to Fluttermane, because they both fill the same role, kind of as very strong spread damage. But like what you're seeing in Series 1 probably isn't going anywhere immediately. It might take till the end of March before we start seeing really strong teams that aren't revolving around what we currently have in Series 1.
Yep.
I don't know if you've been watching any of the videos running around on YouTube at all from other people. Moxie Boosted's like, Torkoal's gonna be terrible. And I'm just like, I don't know about that one, Chief. I'm just like, there's some merit as to why Torkoal's not going to be like the all-star, but it'll definitely be better in Series 2 than it is in Series 1 right now. I think part of the reason Torkoal's not good is because there is just Dozo running around.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Like, Dozo's out and about, Rain is very popular, so Torkoal doesn't get to do as much. Like, also our best abuser of Sun in Series 1 is Lilligant.
Is this your way of petitioning them to bring back Venusaur?
No.
Is Venusaur confirmed for Series 3, Carl? Is that what I just heard?
No. Venusaur's not even in the game.
Yet.
We will not see Venusaur before we'll see the DLC.
Correct.
One of the things I'm going to be sad that's probably going to go away is Baxcalibur. I love seeing Baxcalibur on these teams.
It's a really interesting Pokemon.
I think it's a really good Pokemon. And I don't think it's going to hold up in the face of Iron Hands, Iron Bundle, and Fluttermane, all just kind of being threats that you have to check yourself with.
Yeah, who knew that having an Ice type is bad?
Well, it's not even that. It's just like you always tear away from Ice to begin with this thing. It's just Iron Bundle, Freeze Dry. Iron Hands has electric coverage.
Fluttermane has, a stab fairy coverage. Like
you have to Terra in front of all of those Pokemon to not just die anyway, and they usually have a secondary type of coverage move that's going to pick you up.
I'm actually curious how much Baxcalibur does into Fluttermane.
A lot. If it gets to hit Fluttermane, it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, but let's see officially how much. So this is, we'll say Life Orb for the sake of why not. We'll be adamant. Why not? Speed doesn't matter. And then let's change that to Ice Shard. Ice Shard to 0 bulk Fluttermane does 66 to 77.
Yeah.
As adamant 252 Life Orb.
Yep.
So all you need is a Choice Band and Helping Hand, and you can get there.
Or you just terrestrialize into Steel and just blow it up.
Oh, you're right. We Terra Mono Ice.
No. You just get to Terra Blast it.
Carl, if we Terra Mono Ice, we one-shot it until they're Sash, and then we're sad.
Well, most of them are going to be Sash, so you're always going to be sad.
Well, we're playing Baxcaliburs.
Well, no, Baxcalibur is still a very good Pokemon. It's just the meta it lines up into isn't going to be the same thing as what it lines up into in Series
2. Yep, which is really unfortunate.
Garchomp, another one of those Pokemon that probably doesn't line up that great into Series 2.
I've seen it a handful of times, and every time I do, I'm just like, man, unless you're Scarf, like, you just don't threaten me. Oh, you're not Scarf.
Like,
okay.
Iron Bundle is a problem because you can't just Terra Ground to remove your dragon weaknesses because Hydro Pump just OHKOs you.
Yep. And like that's the thing is like Scarf isn't even good enough because Bundle and Fluttermane can both just like get their booster energy to trigger their speed. And it's like, all right, well, there's their Scarf and they're not locked into a single move.
I have been preaching this for a very long time. Iron Bundle is going to be the next Regieleki. Respect it as such. Do your speed calcs. Make sure your Tailwind Pokemon are going to outspeed under Tailwind. Make sure that you are, if you're going to +1, make sure your +1 outspeeds Bundle somehow. Like, you can't just say, oh, I'm hitting fast, I should be fine. No. you need to get to 309 to outspeed Bundle effectively. And the only way you do that is either 155 in Tailwind or have your own Pokemon that hits above Bundle naturally with a Scarf or a Booster Energy. Which, there's not a very long list. I think it's like, of the playable Pokemon, I think it's Dragapult. It's the only Pokemon above it that with a Scarf. It's so going to be so hard to outspeed control that thing if it's on the field and you don't have a good answer check to it. Icy Wind may not be 100% accurate, but it's going to hit a lot of the time. You're going to be sad most of the time.
Yep. Fully agree.
It's weird because like Tailwind is on so many other mons now. So you're like teams, like if we didn't have open team sheet, you could play who has Tailwind, who has Trick Room.
That's a downside of open team sheets is you don't have your hidden information of who gets to do what. But the counter argument there is you can still play Tailwind on multiple things, and it's just like, well, how do I stop this from happening? You can't stop everything from doing it.
My current favorite priority Tailwind setter is Volcarona, just because if they fake out, they threaten getting burned.
Yep, I'm a big fan of Volcarona. I know one of our mutual friends, Brandon, played in the Rumble this weekend.
Yep.
And he messaged me last night, and he's like, "Hey, I want to play this team, but I don't like Talonflame. What should be another like Tailwind setter I should play?" And I sent it out to the group, and we came up with like Hydreigon, Salamence, Volcarona. And we're like, oh yeah, Volcarona makes a lot of sense here. Like you're trading a fire type for a fire type. Like you lose your like priority, but like, it's fine. And then he ended up playing AV.
Yeah. Which just like you're not gonna be able to Tailwind anything, so it is what it is.
Yeah. I cannot confirm or deny how he did at the event.
I could tell you real fast.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I have access to all of that. Let's see. Oh. Standing. They finished 31st out of 35.
Heck yeah. Proud of you.
1-3 drop. Unfortunate.
Well.
But, fun fact, the team is very reminiscent of that Dondozo Tatsugiri with Meowscarada, Volcarona, Goldango, and then a physical attacker, in this case, Pawmot.
He messaged me afterwards. He's like, I think I'm done playing Dondozo for a while. I'm like, alright.
Yeah, Dondozo is definitely not very user-friendly.
He's like, I've had a fairly decent win percentage with this, but there's a big difference between laddering and, playing a tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is, Dondozo is very taxing. It's not a good, tournament Pokemon, because it uses a lot of brain power. Kudos to anyone who can do it. Obviously, the winner of this event do it. Congrats to them. I would not bring Dozo to any kind of event just because I value my mental sanity more.
So this is me saying I'm going to take Colossal to Knoxville because click the super effective button.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
It's basically the same thing. No, absolutely not.
Nope. I made it past the top 32, and I'm looking through 33 through whatever. There's a Magnezone in 37th with an Espartha.
Dude, Espartha is secretly underrated. And it might just be because I talk to Jay every day.
I don't think Espartha's that great.
It's really cool. I think Lumina Crash is a heck of a move.
Yeah, that's the one saving grace it has. You can do speed boost Lumina Crash things and kind of Like, it's a great singles Pokemon.
It is like fake tears that does damage.
Yeah, like the fact that Esparta gets this ability, like special ability, Opportunist. Opportunist actually isn't that great.
Yeah.
Like you play this thing because it's speed boost, and speed boost just isn't great in doubles that much. Like there's a reason
Yeah.
Blaziken doesn't do anything.
Well, there's a lot of reasons Blaziken doesn't do anything. It's
Yeah.
not just its ability.
Let's see here. What else we got down here? Anything cool? Anything unique?
There's a Hariyama team.
There was
Did
a
you see
Hariyama
that?
team in Top Cut.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Haven't seen anything that stands out as crazy. There's an Arbolivia in 79th. There's a Tinkaton in 79th as well.
Hold on.
There's also Tinkaton in
79.
86th.
No, I don't have their paste. I can't look at it.
Yeah, we didn't get this far. These teams that far down.
No, it's so unfortunate. I love Tinkaton.
It's just not very good. Someone was doing Scovillain things. Proud of them.
Is it on a like Sun team?
Kinda.
Where are we at?
101. This team
being difficult.
This team is hot.
This team is really cool.
Hariyama, Annihilate, Torkoal, Oranguru, Bellibolt, and Scovillain.
So we could potentially be Symbiosis Bulldoze next to Bellibolt to pass Life Orb. That is something I've seen. Man, Policy, Life Orb, Bellibolt. Gonna run over people.
Yep, gonna run them down. There's a Sableye. That's cool.
I did see that.
Someone played the Droopy Tatsugiri.
Is that defense?
Yes. Someone played Rotom Mo.
I did see that as well. Down here in 115.
I was looking to see if we'd see Swede down here somewhere because he said his record was 5-4.
He did finish 5-4, but unfortunately not good enough for
CP cut.
For CP.
Just outside the 128. Womp womp.
Yep. So we'll just assume that he was Bubble Boy. There's no way to prove otherwise, so.
Yep, no way to prove otherwise. Not right now, anyway.
Male plus Armor Rouge with Gallade and Azumarill.
What number is that one?
124. This seems hot. This seems really cool.
Why Indeedee male?
After you? No, follow. Yeah, after you.
They both get after you.
What would you want to... No, they don't, right?
The unique moves between Indeedee male and Indeedee female were Follow Me and Trick Room. Up until this generation.
I thought it was always Follow Me and After You.
No, it was Follow Me and Trick Room.
Let's see.
Those were the unique moves between the two. Like, that's the whole reason.
No, Indeedee female does not get After You.
But the After You is not the reason why you're playing this Pokemon.
No.
Like, I'm saying
that is unique though.
Like, that's not what they're doing with this. 100%.
No.
I was saying it's like the reason you played in DD Male back in the day was Trick Room. It was the form that learned Trick Room.
You had Imprisoned Trick Room for it.
And now you don't need to do that.
Nope.
So why are we playing in DD Male?
Because it's cool.
I mean, I'm glad you got CDP with it.
I mean, it seems just like strictly worse now, right?
Yeah, it's just strictly worse than DD female.
but whatever.
Because like the after you doesn't do anything on this team.
No, not at all.
Like that's the problem.
It is like a useful piece of tech, but just not here.
Yeah. Like you have middle speed slow Pokemon to begin with, and Baxcalibur, Gallade, and Azumarill. Like,
and like most of those want to do some kind of setup, so like having access to Follow Me would be really good for them.
Yeah, instead of after you.
No, see, your Scarf and DD male, and you after you, so you can then immediately set up. Is genius, Carl.
Scarf and DD male isn't that fast.
Look, just because you're right doesn't mean you have to say it, okay?
I mean, I kind of have to. That's why we're here.
Oh man, I'm out of ideas. I don't know.
But yeah, Liverpool happened. Series 1's just not that interesting. Like we've had,
especially after playing Series 2 for several weeks now.
It's not even playing Series 2; it's just having the rules for Series 2.
Agreed.
Unfortunate.
But, to everyone who went, I'm glad this event went well.
Yeah, I'm sad I didn't get to watch any of it.
Minus the stuff that did not go well. Did you hear about all that?
Oh, you mean like someone kicking a power strip or something and unplugged a whole table worth of docks and everyone's games got cut? Yeah.
Causing an entire table to DC.
Yeah. Hey, when you get mad, walk away.
Dude, the worst part is I bet it wasn't even intentional.
Oh, I know. It's never intentional. But when you get upset, walk away.
Oh, just absolutely absurd.
You have to understand that hacks happens.
Yep.
This is a game of random chance. If you're going to get upset, just walk away. Go the opposite direction, away from everything that you could actually like mess up somebody else's game for. Because now, not only like are you upset that you did like you lost your game, you messed up a full table's worth of game and ruined matches. Because guess what? They have protocols for that stuff now.
Yep.
So they all get ruled.
Dude, I can't imagine. I'm very glad that we have those rules in place for an event like this where it happens. Like, but then it becomes like, well, this player says this player says that. There's no way to prove either of them are correct.
Yeah.
Which obviously, a whole he said, she said thing is like, whatever. And I'm not saying that happened, but just be polite to people. Just be, truthful.
Yep. So, that kind of puts a cap on Series 1. I'm assuming no one will be hosting Series 1 events now that Liverpool's done.
So that being said, I would like to announce...
We hosted our last Series 1 event. The next event, the next dojo is even going to be Series 2. Once the signups for that goes live later today, that'll be Series. Everything kind of just transitioned over.
I think the way Aaron worded it this week was, hey, if you all want to agree to play Series 2, you can.
Like we're not gonna.
If there's a disagreement, Series 1 wins.
Yeah, like we're not gonna sit here and tell you can't play Series 2. If you both want to play Series 2, go for it. It's just
I should probably get a hold of Dad and see what he wants to do.
Like if you want to play, if you can't agree, Series 1 is the default because that's what's currently the rule set.
Yep.
That's the rule. Yep. I almost made the Rumble best of 3 today. I'm glad I didn't. I almost did because we only had 30-something players. I'm just like, man, that's like fine. It would be like 6 hours and then top cut.
I was going to say, for your sanity, I'm glad they didn't.
We got all 6 best of 1 Swiss rounds done in like 6 hours. The longest part was there was a DC and top cut that we had to reset someone's internet for, and that took like 35 minutes. That was the longest part. At that time, I was just like, I was telling the other games, just play it when you get paired up with another person. Just play. Like, there's no point
like,
in sitting here waiting.
We
We'll catch
get paired up when we get paired up. Yep.
Like, we'll get caught up. It'll be okay.
Yep. Full agree.
You kind of got to miss out on all of the Paradox Pokemon talk that we did yesterday, or last week.
Yeah, I actually haven't even like sat down and got to listen to the episode yet.
ELDR, Bundle, Iron Hands, and Fluttermane were like our top 3, which obviously not surprising. I have the image saved still. I can go look at it here, and then you can kind of like talk about it like amongst yourself and say, I agree with this, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, just
like
get my 2 cents in here.
Yeah. I can get this sent to you. There we go. Ta-da!
Alright. Fluttermane S, Bundle, Iron Hands, I agree with all of that. I think Iron Valiant in B is criminal. I think it is an easy A tier Pokemon, and a lot of people are going to undercredit it.
See, that's what I said too, but Poppy and Ro kind of outvoted me. So, I had it an A on my list, and they had it like C and D. I'm just like, that is criminal, especially after like the deep dive I did for it, and it's like, you guys are missing what this Pokemon can do.
I think you can make an argument for Screamtail and Iron Valiant to go to A, and Great Tusk to go to B, as well as Slitherwing up to B.
Great Tusk is a monster.
I know it's done a ton in singles. I haven't seen it or played against it in doubles yet.
This thing is bulky AF, and it is a monster to deal with if it terastallizes, and you just don't have an answer.
It also is like weak to both Bundle and Fluttermane, though, right? Like it's ground fighting.
But like half the Pokemon you see here are weak to either Bundle or Fluttermane.
Which is like part of the reason they are at the top is they're 1, the fastest Pokemon, and 2, hit the most super effective.
Exactly. like that's kind of the thing, is just like if you're weak to the other Paradox Pokemon, you're inherently going to be less than them. Because Roaring Moon is still a very solid Pokemon. Terrible into Bundle and Fluttermane, specifically. And Iron Hands. All 3 of those Pokemon beat Roaring Moon. And so that's why Roaring Moon's A and not S.
I do think a lot of people are going to play Roaring Moon, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
The Booster Energy Acrobatic set I think is very good, and I think is worth like looking into and playing.
I think we'll start to navigate back towards like choice band sets or choice scarf sets, trying to outspeed things.
I've also said in our discussions, just like, I don't think Booster Energy is an item I want to play with because you lose your boost upon switching. Whereas with like Life Orb, sure, you take your recoil, but like you're always able to use it. Like, You lose the ability to pivot appropriately, but like if you're using it on a like late game sweeper like Fluttermane, like Iron Bundle, then it's good.
Yeah.
But things like Roaring Moon on the lead to get your attack boost or your speed boost, I just don't think are worth it.
Yeah. I wanted to put Iron Treads in C.
I think that's where I had also acceptable.
They really liked Iron Treads, and I'm just like, it's a fast Garchomp, but you have a worse typing, I guess, because Steel and Ground they're not the greatest typing together. And so it's just like, at that point, just play Garchomp. Like, you're not terribly faster than Garchomp, just play Garchomp. Because you have a Steel and Ground typing, you don't want to terastallize to lose those Steel resistances. That's like the big key thing. You don't see Steel types terastallize that often unless they go into exactly Steel.
and that's the thing is, it seems like I've kind of talked about this before when like team building and stuff with people. It's like, hey, what's a good Terra type for this? And my default is, I don't know, probably Steel.
It's because it's got the most resistances.
It's a really good type for a reason.
Like, it has very strong resistances. It has the most resistances. It has an immunity. Its weaknesses are very few and far between. They're usually easily countered as well, so they're easy to build around. That being said, if you are a Steel type, you don't want a Terra most of the time, unless you go back into Steel. Like, it just doesn't make it. It's just not worth it.
Steel. Yeah.
It's just not worth it most of the time if you're a dual type.
Yep.
Like, even Goldango is just like, I'm just gonna go Terra Steel just to deal more damage. I open myself back up to my fighting weakness, but it's worth it because I deal more damage. Yep. We all had come to the conclusion that Iron Thorns and Iron Jugulus are just bad.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why they feel bad, okay? So of all of these Pokemon, they match their counterparts' stats very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
The three exceptions being Roaring Moon, Iron Thorns, and Iron Jugulus. Roaring Moon is 10 points less than Salamence.
Mm-hmm.
But Iron Thorns and Iron Jugulus are 30 points base totals less than Tyranitar and Hydreigon.
Yeah, because Roaring Moon is the special one, whereas the others are just like generic. Yes. Interesting.
And that is why these two just feel worse than their natural counterpart. Like, if you're going to play these two, just play the regular one. Play the Pseudo Legend, because it's just as strong, if not stronger.
I have ran into Iron Thorns Tyranitar, and it's just like, I'm going to spam Rock Slide. It's like, well, that's really unfortunate, because I'm trying to play Trick Room over here. Like, can you not flinch me one time, please?
At that point, you're just like, I'm going to click Earthquake. I have Covert Cloak. I'm just going to hit you.
No, the counterplay to that is I have Wide Guard on Arbor Rouge. It's like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sure, you can spam Rock Slide. I got you. But yeah, that was like the big like aha moment we had while talking about it. It was just like, oh, reason these feel so bad is because they're just less stats than their counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Iron Hands is a boost to Hariyama's base stat total. Dawn Fans, both a boost to their base stat total. The Brute Bonnet, Screamtail. I think both Volcarona forms are a boost to their base stat total. Even things like Sandy Shocks and Fluttermane are all boosts to the original Pokemon's base stat total. But Iron Thorns and Iron Jugulus being essentially downgrades with worse typing.
Yep.
And a very hard to activate ability makes them much worse than all the rest of Paradox Pokemon.
Yeah, the fact that you essentially had to run like booster energy on the future Paradox is kind of what, like, in my opinion, makes them worse.
It's funny because there's like it's specifically like there's 3 very strong future Paradoxes, and only one of them has to carry booster energy. The other 2 could get away with it without it. You don't have to put it on Iron. You don't have to play booster energy Iron Hands. You don't have to play booster energy Iron Valiant. Heck, you don't really even have to play booster energy Iron Moth, but it's there. But like the ones that you want to play booster energy on, the Iron Thorns, the Iron Jugulus, the Iron Treads, they're just not. It's just not worth it most of the time.
Big agree.
Slitherwing is another one of those Pokemon. It's just like, it's not worth it to play the booster energy on it. You're never going to get anything but attack unless you really mess up your stats. It feels very Stack Attack-ish on trying to get your beast boost.
I didn't realize how insane it was until Aaron started working on it. He's like, you have to be like 11 IVs minus attack to be able to get a speed boost or something. And just like, I'm good.
Yeah, like it.
Because,
like I said,
because its base speed is so low. It's base 55.
It's not even that. Its base attack is so high. That's the problem.
That's also true. It's like a combination of the two is just like, well, I mean, technically you can make this work.
Yeah, it's just like...
Do you really want to, though?
Like, same thing happens with, like, stack attack. It's like, oh, you have to be this specific IV and have this much total defense in order to get your attack boost.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another thing we mentioned in the podcast that you missed. The Paradox Pokemon and the Ultra Beasts are now in the same category. According to Pokemon. Mainly due to the fact that they're considered otherworldly Pokemon.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
The Ultra Beasts lost their sub-legendary status, essentially.
Oh, yeah, sure. That doesn't really bother me.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially if this is something they're going to continue to do in the future. It's like, yeah, we need some different type of classification for them, and this makes sense.
Exactly. But yeah, that was kind of our rundown of it. I had Iron Valiant much higher than B. I had Iron Treads much lower than B. Sandy Shocks was much lower than C. In fact, if I had a choice, I'd probably put Sandy Shocks at the very, very bottom. It's
not good, man.
It is terrible.
So I think we have finally figured out what Tiff is going to play for
Knoxville.
For Knoxville. I'm 99.9% sure she's going to play Zoroark V.
Yeah.
And the only things that are... So Crown Zenith is a new set that came out Friday, from my understanding. And there's like one card in it that's a like upgrade to the deck. You get a new Bidoof with an actual ability.
Oh my goodness.
So the Bidoof you were playing before just has like 70 HP and it lets you evolve into B-Barrel. Like it's really basic. It's never doing anything. It's there to evolve.
Yeah.
This new one though has an ability that like it can't be damaged on the bench. So
that's like, kind of cool.
That's where you want this thing anyway, so you can evolve it into B-Barrel. So
that's neat.
So Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, for those who are unfamiliar with this card, has its attack is double colorless. It does 50 times the number of your Pokemon with damage counters on them. So you just have things like there's a Gengar from Lost Origins that if it's in your graveyard you can bring it back and put 3 damage counters on it.
Yeah.
And then you place things like Damage Pump, which lets you move damage counters around, and Gapejaw Bog, which is a stadium that lets you, whenever a player puts a basic onto the bench, it takes 20 damage. So it's just like, alright, I'm going to dish out all this damage, move stuff around, and then suddenly for, a double colorless energy, I'm doing 300.
Just taking out Pokemon left and right.
That's good enough. That's usually good enough. You're able to one shot like Lugia V stars and stuff like that. So it's been really fun in testing. Like I've picked it up and played it, and it's just like, ooh, this is really cool. And it got a sick art in Crown Zenith. Yeah. So they've been doing these like trainer gallery cards, where it's like the Pokemon plus like a trainer in the background or whatever of like, this is the trainer that owns this Pokemon. So like Crobat V is with Silver.
Yeah.
And then like in Crown Zenith they just have like generic full art Pokemon. So with that, every Pokemon in the deck can now be full art.
There you go.
So just like, yeah, this deck's gonna look really good. So I'm very excited for this.
Nice.
And like all the full arts look so freaking good, man. This deck's it's really cool and it looks really good. So,
well, now that you got her squared away, we need to figure out you.
exactly, like that was the plan. Is like get her taken care of, so like we can start picking stuff up as needed. I have a stack of stuff here that like I've pulled of stuff that we own. It's like now it's time to go through and see what we're missing and start like picking stuff up. And you know, luckily we have a really good connection to be able to pick stuff up.
Yep.
So yeah, she's taken care of. Now to just
figure out your team.
Nail down. Now we just have to solve Series 2 and why I'm evidently playing Colossal.
So we gotta figure out your team, Jay's team, Aaron's team. Is Poppy going?
Yes, Poppy got in, I believe.
Poppy's team, like there's.
I'm ready for Jay to hear this tomorrow and to message me like, "Why are you playing Colossal?" Except here's the thing: he's not going to hear this tomorrow because he doesn't listen to it on Mondays. I'll call him out like that.
Calling him out. But
so yeah,
I think that's all we got today.
As I sit here and shatter everyone's ears.
Yeah, Carter over here dying.
I'll be fine. If not, you already have like 3 co-hosts ready to go.
Yeah, I got people lined up. My wife even offered to sit in for an episode.
That's amazing.
I got people lined up. Everything. It'll be fine.
Tiff says she wants to start making TCG content.
I mean, sure.
Like, yeah, if there's an interest for it, then by all means.
Yeah.
Like we have a couple days on our schedule that are currently empty, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's something y'all want to see,
let us know. We'll make it happen.
It's not like I don't have enough tokens to be able to build any deck in the format.
Yeah.
I have an entire shoebox of code cards that I've been trying to put in. Because to rant about this program for a minute.
Oh god.
It's terrible. I love Pokemon, but their online clients are terrible. Their iOS app doesn't have it where you can scan in codes. Like, it just doesn't allow you to use your camera for whatever reason on iPhone or iPad. So, like, it's clearly an iOS issue. And whenever I try to use my camera on the desktop version, it wants to use XSplit, which, like, even if I open XSplit, it won't open the camera, and there's no way to change the camera that it's trying to pick up.
Weird.
And, like, if it's not trying to pick up XSplit, it's trying to pick up my capture card. Like, it's one of those two that it's trying to do. And I don't know which, and I don't know how to solve it. And there's nothing online saying how to do it. Like, there's nothing on their support line. There's nothing in client to allow me to switch it. It's terrible.
Well, Carter, it's clearly a you problem.
That's the thing. I know I'm not the only one with this problem. Like, and on mobile, you can't log out of your account. The only way to log out is to delete your account. So, like, the thought process is like, oh, we'll sign out of Tiff's account on her phone, sign me in on hers, and then we'll just scan codes that way, and we'll bust them out. Nope, if we do that, we had to delete her account.
Yep.
It's insane how, like, just poorly managed this thing is.
That's the new one, right?
Yes.
The one that was recently in beta still?
They added expanded support this week. It's currently in beta. But, like, I'm not playing expanded because I've heard that format is, like, garbage fire.
I have no clue. All over my head. Ow.
Yeah, from my understanding, it is very, very unbalanced.
Eat. Are you ready for Greninja raids this weekend?
That implies I've done any other raids in this game.
Did you get your Cinderace?
No. I didn't do Cinderace, I didn't do Charizard, I didn't do Charizard. I did do some Delibird.
I don't want to hear it when you don't have a Greninja or a Cinderace and you want to play with them when they become legal. I don't want to hear it.
I'll just have someone breed me one.
But you won't have the fancy one, and you'll want the fancy one.
I want a shiny one, that's all I care about.
I'm going to have the marked ones, and I won't be happy.
Okay.
It's the only way to get the mark. It's better than a shiny, in my opinion. I can get multiple shinies. I can't get this mark again. You get one, and that's it.
Yeah, but see, everyone has the mark.
Oh, clearly not, because you don't.
Nah, marks don't mean anything to me.
They mean a lot more to me than shiny hunting. Marks mean a lot more than shiny hunting. Especially since the shinies don't look.
Dude, shiny Greninja's so good, though.
Yeah. That being all said, I think we're done for the week.
I agree. I think it's bedtime. I am so ready to go to bed.
Well, you ain't going anywhere until you do your Patreon.
That is true. I need to... Papa Swish messaged me and says he's mad at me because I didn't read the names last week. It's like, I wasn't on. He's like, well, this is still your fault.
It's your fault. Yep, it is.
So, let's get out of here.
Agreed.
What do you think? You ready to?
Yeah,
you ready to call
I
it
am
a day?
already ready to be done. Yeah.
All right. So, as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and do all that good stuff. If you're listening over on any of the audio platforms, hit the subscribe button. Leave us a review. It really does help us out. Pushes our content against the algorithm, and that obviously is very good for us. If you are interested, you can always follow us over on Twitter at LR Lessons. You can follow myself at Mr. Missouri25, Carl's at Musical VGC. You can follow us both on Twitch as well at Mr. Missouri25 and at Musical. Past that, you can come and join the community Discord where you get to play in all of our events and everything that we have going up here in, let's see, the next one's going to be the 4th. Is that right?
Next one is the weekend of Orlando. Yep.
So if you're not playing Orlando and want to get prep in for Knoxville, that's a perfect way of doing so.
That's literally why we've done it the way we've done it.
Yep. It's worked out pretty okay so far. So, to obviously do that, you had to come and join the Discord, which is down in the show notes. Let's see. Past that, you can go ahead and check out the website. That is at lrlessons.com. While you're over there, you can check out the merch page, where you can pick up some really, really good, sick merch, which I need to get on, and I need to order me at least one more t-shirt, if not like 2 or 3 for Knoxville. I need to write myself a note, otherwise I'm going to keep forgetting.
I need to get with somebody to get all the new designs we have made up.
Yeah. We've been saying that
Artists.
for a hot minute.
We're still looking for people. We've talked to a couple people, and some styles didn't line up the way we wanted to, like that. So we're still looking for someone who will fit our style that we're looking for.
Let's see. I think the only thing we have left is if you are interested in supporting us for as little as 50 cents an episode. I think our minimum is $2 a month.
I think so. Yeah.
You can head on over to patreon.com where you can go ahead and support us over there. And starting at $10 a month, we will read your names out on the podcast. So special shout outs to Papa Swish and Dylan of Paldea for their support as always.
Yep.
And I think that's a wrap on 151.
We have one episode for every Pokemon. Gen 1.
Yep. We are officially out of the Kanto era and moving into the worst generation.
There's much worse generation.
So is this considered season 2 now?
No. We're actually
getting serializing this stuff now?
We're actually getting ready to go to season 4. We have 5 episodes until we're into season 4.
just absurd. Genuinely absurd. But that's it. I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Night, y'all.
Night, everybody.
See y'all next week. Have a good one. Peace.